It is the Flow Friday Sports Show, and there's a lot happening, and we need to talk all things Mallee Netball. And joining me is none other than the Lamoureux lass, Nicole McMahon. Great to have you back, Nicole. What's happening?
Oh, Ellis, it should be one of the most exciting weeks in the Mallee, and don't get me wrong, it is, but it's been a bit of an interesting one. I'm sure the rumours have made up your way of, what the future going to hold for the Mallee League, and it's got my stomach in knots. It's a little bit devastating what we're hearing. So I'm not sure how much you want me to delve into that or not.
Yeah,
or what you've heard at your end.
Let's just sort of put the disclaimer out there that we don't know that this is all going to definitely materialise. But Nicole, you've obviously got your ear to the ground, and I know that what you're hearing is certainly upsetting you, to put it mildly. So let's just sort of hear it all straight out, Nicole. Just tell us exactly what your understanding is. And again, we'll just preface that this is far from confirmed, but supposedly there's some stuff happening in the background here.
Far from concerned, and I'm not at all speaking in an official capacity at all, but there's obviously talks of some further club mergers and club exits and that type of thing. Obviously, we are bidding farewell to Borders, but the decision last that was made is we will continue as a 5-team comp. But it is looking like that may not be the case, and I'm really hoping that's going to be wrong, and we're going to at least have 12 more months, because I think, Ellis, I absolutely love our league. What we've sustained out here in the Mallee, it is years of history through depressions, war, recessions, clubs joining, merging, all that. Our heritage is so strong and rich. We're a small league, but we've been quite robust in our resilience to hold strong together. I grew up in this league. I had hoped my kids will too. I'm not naive enough to, realise that's very unlikely now. But it's such a brilliant, family-friendly environment on a sad day. And it's, probably what I've really realised and acknowledged the last few years, just how brilliant this association is. And just, country footy to our communities, it's so much more than a game of sports. I think you've probably learnt that. You've come from politics and now you're well into it. And the league, Mallee League no longer being how it is, the flow-on effect to communities will be devastating. They are the heart and soul of our regions, so the identity of the towns. It's what brings people together. It's what gets people off the tractors on a sad day, involved in that community. So I just hope, whether we're playing with, if it's 6, 5 or 4 teams, we'll make it work. But there is so much at stake. The flow-on, effect, as I said, to local shops, local schools, and most importantly, just that mental health, what it could mean for those communities. I just, it really does. It had me up last night. Ned had me up last night, probably, too early, but this had me up in between, just thinking about what the effect will be. And I'm not opposed to change. I fully appreciate we need to look that way, but change is a big thing. It needs to be so carefully managed. This could actually be an opportunity for us, but we really need to do it properly. I'm hoping, Ellis, this is my last report, and you'll probably hear me again next week, but I'll take it on next year if I can, and I'm hoping there'll be 12 more months to, properly acknowledge the heritage of the clubs and the league. It's huge. Wind it down well, consider all our options, and just, not make any knee-jerk rash decisions. Forever is a very long time. Those premiership winners tomorrow, they've won that premiership forever. If this is the end, then this is the end forever. So, let's hope that's not the case.
Well, we certainly hope, we're going to get the resolution that we all want. We're going to have to park it for now, though, Nicole. Let's talk about the on-court action. We'll take a look at the weekend's games that occurred. So let's just firstly focus in on the A-grade action. We've got a grand final, obviously. It's hard to remember that with everything that we've just been through, but there's a grand final on the weekend. Tell us what took place in order to make this grand final be what it is, and then we'll quickly gloss over the other grades as well.
Yeah, so A-grade grand final is going to be Peak vs Taroonda, which is really exciting. Both these clubs, it's been a while since they met each other, but on the weekend, to fight for that grand final spot, Peak took on Pinaroo and they defeated them 51 goals to Pinaroo 39. It was a great match. Peak just took their steps to the ball. They had that great defensive pressure all throughout the game. It was close, although that margin, 12 goals seems reasonable for a final especially. It was that third quarter, that grand final quarter, which I think Peak won. I haven't done my maths very well, but they won that very, very easily. And that's all it is in netball. It's one quarter. You can't drop the bundle at all. It's got to be 60 minutes of going hard. So they deserve to win Peak. Best players, Adelia Stevenson from Peak, playing in at goal defence. She was, she had that ball on a string all day. Abby Akio from Pinaroo also doing her part in wing attack, feeding really well and putting on quite a bit of defensive pressure. So well done to Peak. Flying through the rest of the grades. B grade, Pinaroo came back from their loss last week against Lamoureux. They defeated Peak 51 Pinaroo to Peak 25. Best players, Tam Westphalen from Pinaroo and Melissa Holland from Peak. In C grade, very excited to say Lamoureux got through 48 goals, defeating Peak to 31. Best players, Anouk Bax from Lamoureux, absolutely deserved. I think she left quite a bit of her skin on the court as well. She was really going hard at it all day. And Jessie Ann Cameron from Peak. In 15 and under, we had BDT 44 defeating Pinaroo 32. Best players, Olivia Hyde from Pinaroo and Tally Schilling from BDT. And 13 and under, very excited that the girls have got through. 18 goals to Lamoureux defeating Karoonda 16. So I think the tightest match of the day. So well done to my niece Edie for getting through. I've given her a shout out each week and I'll keep doing it. Seems to be working. A bit of an upset there. I think Karoonda were expected to win that one. Best players, Camille Saplin from Lamoureux and Ruby Phillips from Karoonda.
There we have it, Nicole. Before we get to previewing the big dance for the A grade, just run over the predictions that you've got for the other grand finals on the weekend.
So the other grade. So I just had to pick Ned up. He's probably got 5 more minutes and he's going to crack it. So we'll fly through these. So we've got B grade. This is going to be a great match. Lamoureux versus Pinaroo. They've been really competitive all year. That's taking place at 1:45. Lamoureux really want it. They've had a few close calls the last few years and I think they're due for a premiership. So good luck, girls. Good luck to sister Kim Thorpe lining up in the C grade. Marvel up against Lamoureux. These two teams, there was 1 goal apiece in the second semi, so that's sure to be a close game as well. 15 and under, Karoonda, who have dominated all season, are taking on BDT. That's BDT's only grade in the finals, I believe. And in the 13 and under, we've got Pinaroo versus Lamoureux at 10:45. So best of luck to all those grades.
Most certainly, and we obviously can't skim over the A grade. How's it all going to go, Nicole? It's the final showpiece for the season for the Mallee A grade. Which way is it going to go?
That's it. It's for the season, not for the eternity, I hope. So, these clubs, it's been a while. Karoonda especially, 20 years since they last won a goal. None of these girls, of course, were in that team. They were probably all in Matthews. But Linda Pake, who I think is their team manager, she actually coached that last grand final. So she's still around. So good on you, Linda. Pake, it has been 9 years, I think, since they last won a grand final. I remember them beating us in the prelim to make that grand final. I'm still dirty at them for it. But Bianca Carl, she was in that grand final team all those years ago. So it's a fantastic lineup. Karoonda have got Shaylin Pake and Kiara Pake, who, Justin Ferris for the association and runner-up, have both had fantastic teams. Young Jess Carey in wing attack for them. She's just had a stellar year and she'll probably get that D grade under 15 premiership as well. Renee Rudiger and Abby Pake have just gelled so well in the goals and, they're the type of duo that can turn around a 10 goal, get up by 10 goals in 1 quarter without a doubt. Skylar Bowden in at wing defence for Karoonda as well. So quite a good little 7 player lineup there. As for Peak, they've got some strong players throughout. Bianca Carl, of course, in at goal shooter with Sky Kozic. They are a bit of a dream team in there at the moment. Through their centre court, Kiara Rundle, she was just so good on the weekend, just such strong hands with Robin Lehman. Great little player there and pick up for Peak this year and they're in the team of the year. Georgia Ballard and Casey Cameron, Alex McKay also playing through that centre court. Some very strong young players there. And their defence, Maddie Farley and Adelia Stevenson, who, they are tall. They have they are really tricky to get around and to feed into. So it's just going to be an absolute cracker of a game, and I really don't know how to call it. I did this a few years ago, and it actually came true. So I'm going to call a draw and time on, and a team will win by 1 goal.
Wow. Well, Nicole McMahon, I certainly hope, I don't know which way any of this is going to go, but I just hope someone's got a medal ready for you at the end of the year. The Super Mum, you've done a great job on the flow for us covering the Mallee Netball League. We look forward to checking in with you again next week for the last time this year, and I really certainly hope it's only for this year. Thank you very much for your time, Nicole. We really appreciate it, and enjoy the grand finals on the weekend.
Thanks, Ellis. I sure will. Cheers.